Good afternoon. My name is Emily Olsen, and I am adopted. As you can tell from this picture, I definitely stick out. You can tell who I am in this picture. And I was adopted when I was only 7 months old from China. And I definitely stand out from this picture, but this talk goes beyond just physical traits and personality traits. Once you get to know me, you can tell I'm much more timid, a little bit shyer under first impressions, unlike my family, who's normally the conversation starter, and they are much more outgoing than I am. And so, in my family, I'm also known to be very academically motivated. And at school, people would always say, you don't deserve a 100, you're just born that way, or you don't do any really hard work, which it didn't really bother me, except one teacher told me that I should thank my birth parents for giving me my intelligence and allowing me to succeed. And this kind of puzzled me because it raised an interesting question of how much of me is actually me and how much of it is from two people across the world that I have never met and I probably never will. So when we were asked to do this TED Talk, I came across this word, epigenetics, and it was to research the genetics behind of how much gets passed on to the kids, and basically states that your own life circumstances will be passed on to your offspring, and it can turn on and off chromosomes. It could go from which food do you like, or it could be more of a substantial circumstance such as the culture you're with that you're grown up with, or it could be a trauma that may have happened to you. And so Chinese people are definitely known to be very smart, stereotypically, but it goes beyond that and just more of a cultural thing because the only way to succeed in China is to be very academically smart and to be extremely motivated. And so this definitely affects me and my story and how much of it is from them. And I could have gotten some of my academic motivation from me, but I will never really know. But what I do know is that my adopted parents, the ones that I consider my real family, they are the ones who have given me my morals and values that I still hold today. So I kind of had an epiphany of how much of me is actually me. We have nature, we have nurture, but most importantly, we have free will. Now, free will can be defined as different possible courses of actions that one can take. I like to think of it as going down a road and then the road splits down into two. And you and only you decide which way do you turn, left or right. It's the difference between I absolutely have to be academically motivated and I want to be academically motivated. And there are different stories from many others who are adopted. I'm sure all of you know who Mrs. Ross is. She's the principal of New Tech, but not many of you guys know that she was actually adopted when she was only 6 weeks old. So she had never known her birth parents, although she was a little curious to know what they were like. But she, like me, also got her morals and values from her adopted parents. And she said there were a couple of traits that set her apart from her biological siblings, such as she was also very academically motivated and she had a tenacity to succeed, while her brothers were much more focused on athletics. This applies to everybody, not just people who are adopted. Every single one of us were born with genetics that we cannot choose. For some of us, it may affect us every day, and for some of us, we may not even know that it affects us. Some of them may be positive, and some of them may be negative. But the point is that we have a choice. We have a choice between I want to try hard, and a choice between I'll just give up. And then it even goes further as far as I have a choice to be nice, or I have a choice to be mean and rude to others. And so to better explain this, here is a metaphor. Our brains are much like computers. It could have the fastest hard drive ever, but if nobody programs it, then it's just a useless piece of machinery. We are the programmers. We program our brain every single day when we make choices. And so, in the end, I do think that genetics have played a role in my life, but I do not think that it defines who I am today. It is our free will to choose who I will end up to be. And it is up to every single one of you to use what they have to become the best person that they can be. And I hope that you choose well. Thank you.